Hello, this is Gamal Hassan, and in this video we're gonna get to know how to tackle words in context questions on the digital SAT. Let's get started. The introduction. On the reading and writing section of your SAT, some questions will ask you to select the most logical and precise word or phrase in a given context. يا شباب في الفيديو ده إن شاء الله هنتعرف على إزاي نتعامل أو how to tackle words in context questions أو filling the gap questions أو sentence completion questions. الأسئلة من النوع ده ممكن تكون أكثر الأسئلة ظهورا في الديجيتال SAT. إزاي نتعامل معاهم ويعني how to tackle them is an easy task إن شاء الله with us in this video. Let's get started. Okay, so context and connotation. So when attempting words in context questions, reading comprehension is just as important as your knowledge of vocabulary. To help us identify the best word in context, we should focus on two things: context and connotation. So شباب في حاجتين مهمين جدا لازم نخلي بالنا منهم جدا لما نتعامل مع النوع ده من الأسئلة. الكونتكست ازاي نفهم passage كويس جدا، التكست ده نفهمه جدا جدا. You cannot skim or scan the text only, but you must read it carefully and understand it perfectly. ده بالنسبة للتكست. بالنسبة للconnotation، الانسر تشويسز يا شباب في كلمات كتيرة بيكون لها نفس المعنى ولكن الدلالات بتاعتها مختلفة. واحدة مثلا تمشي مع لما نتكلم عن حاجة إيجابية أو حاجة كويسة، وممكن حاجة تانية يكون لها نفس المعنى ولكن بتناسب context يكون بيتكلم عن حاجة سلبية. فهنا في حاجة مهمة جدا بيقول لك إيه هنا: reading comprehension is just as important as our knowledge of vocabulary. يعني فهم حضرتك للتكست لا يقل أهمية عن معرفتك بالفوكابولاري words الموجودين في الانسر choices. So to identify the best word, we should focus on two things: context and connotation. So in this slide, we're going to get to know what is meant by context. So context refers to the specific scenario we're attempting to match a word or phrase to. To understand the context, we must read the provided text carefully. لازم تقرأ التكست carefully and understand it perfectly. Connotations. Connotations are associations that we have with different words. One common example of connotation is whether a word feels positive or negative. Words can have similar meanings but vastly different connotations. For example, the words promising and ominous both mean that something is predictive of the future. However, while promising has a strongly positive connotation, ominous has a strongly negative connotation. يعني يا شباب زي ما قلنا ان ممكن يكون كلمتين من نفس المعنى زي promising و ominous معناهم حاجتين ممكن احنا نتوقع يحدثهم في المستقبل، ولكن واحدة positive حاجة لما تكون حاجة كويسة أنا بنتظرها أو متوقع أنها تحصل في المستقبل. on the other hand ominous برغم أنها لها نفس المعنى ولكن تناسب لما نتوقع شيء للأسف سيء ممكن يحصل في المستقبل. So positive or negative. Therefore, these words can't logically apply to the same context. If you're stuck on words in context question, try focusing on these connotations. Is the sentence positive? Then the word we choose should be positive too. For example, 1. The basketball star's promising play this season suggests a bright future. 2. The dark, ominous clouds on the horizon suggest a storm is coming. Based on context clues like bright in the first sentence and storm in the second one, it is clear where the positive and negative words are most appropriate. يعني يا شباب هنا برغم ان الكلمتين زي ما قلنا قبل كده ليهم نفس المعنى ولكن في context clues. كلمة bright بتقول لك حاجة كويسة حاجة إيجابية، فpromising هنا هي الصح. ما ينفعش نحط ominous مكان promising هنا عشان احنا بنتكلم عن حاجة إيجابية. يعني برغم ان الكلمتين ليهم نفس المعنى ولكن connotation plays a very important and crucial role in deciding and how to determine which is the precise word for this specific context. Okay? طبعا لو كان كمان لو العكس، لو احنا بنتكلم في حاجه سلبيه ما ينفعش نستخدم promising. It is a must for us to use ominous. Okay, so charge it positive or negative. Sometimes connotation alone is enough to answer a words in context question. Is the text expressing something positive? If so, we can eliminate any choices that are too negative or neutral. يعني شباب ممكن لو حضرتك حتى بدون، احيانا طبعا ده بيحصل، لو حتى بدون الرجوع للتكست او بدون الرجوع او بدون يعني without just going in depth with the text، ممكن حضرتك تقرر بناء على الكونوتيشن لوحدها اذا كانت الكلمه دي صح او لا. لو احنا بنتكلم مثلا في تكست ايجابي بيتكلم عن حاجه كويسه، ولو say مثلا فور اكزامبل عندنا 4 answer choices 3 منهم بيتكلموا عن حاجه سلبيه، فبسهوله جدا حضرتك ممكن you can eliminate او خلاص تعرف you can cross out the negative ones and the remainder only will be the positive ones, so you can choose it safely and confidently. Okay. من اهم الحاجات في الاسئله دي يا شباب ان statement restatement. يعني ايه؟ يعني في التكست اللي من النوع ده دايما تكون المين ايديا مكرره مرتين، دايما لازم يكون في كلو وورد بتقول لك ان الكلمه المعينه دي في الانسر تشويسز هي الصح. This is the most appropriate and the logical one that can fit in this context. يعني الفكره بتكون مكرره مرتين. كل حاجه اللي مطلوب من حضرتك انك تربط ما بين الفكره اللي موجوده في التكست وواحده من الانسر choices that can reinforce the text and the main idea of the text. So because statement restatement دي من اهم الحاجات اللي ممكن نستخدمها في النوع ده من الاسئله. Because we need to know the meaning of the word we're looking for. That meaning will be provided a second time within the text. Many prompts for words in context questions follow a similar pattern for statement restatement. The trick then is to match the word we're looking for with the equivalent idea in any other statement. دايما تربط ما بين الفكرة الموجودة في التكست وواحدة من الكلمات اللي موجودة في الانسر choices that can reinforce the meaning or the statement or the main idea of the text. Okay, top tips for how to tackle these questions. In order to succeed or add a word in context question, you have to read and understand the text carefully, and this is exactly what we discussed before. It is equally important to understand the passage as it is to understand the words in the answer choices. So, how do we do that? Note, these passages usually state their key idea not just once but twice. The rest of the passage will tell you what you need as you read through the passage. يعني زي ما احنا قلنا ان الكلمه او الفكره بتكون مكرره مرتين في الموضوع، ان شاء الله باذن الله هيكون سهل جدا. من اهم الحاجات اللي احنا لازم نعرفها as a top tip here, look for transition words, phrases and punctuation marks. يعني لو في مثلا period تعرف ان في جمله تانية بتعزز او هي اللي ممكن يكون فيها الريستيتمنت اللي ممكن تعزز معرفتنا او ان احنا يعني how to tackle the question. ممكن يكون في كمان punctuation mark، ممكن يكون في مثلا colon semicolon، ممكن يكون في punctuation marks، او ممكن يكون في transition words that can help us identify the most precise word. Okay, so look for transition words, phrases or punctuation marks which can help you figure out what the key idea is. Okay, so words in context questions will always offer clues to the blank. They usually do so by reinforcing the meaning of the missing word elsewhere in the passage. This is exactly for the third time we stress the importance of this statement restatement. So the main idea can be just restated once more elsewhere in the passage. So a very important tip also is to simplify the passage by removing some of the details before and after the blank. Yani how to summarize the passage so you can just think or to be to the point. Okay. And remember, on test day you might encounter words you've never seen before. Do not choose them just because they are obscure or weird. يعني في الامتحان متوقع جدا انك تلاقي بعض الانسر تشويسز، كلمات في الانسر تشويسز انت ما تعرفهمش. فناس كتيره جدا ممكن يكون هو عارف مثلا كلمتين وعارف ان في واحده منهم صح، بيميل انها صح، ولكن عشان بالنسبه له سهله فيقول لا الموضوع مش بالسذاجه دي، فبيستبعد اللي هو يعرفها ويكون اصلا بيميل ان دي الاجابه الصح لمجرد ان هو يعرفها، وده غلط جدا جدا. انا بقول لحضرتك اي حاجه انت الكلمات اللي هم weird or unfamiliar words you can ignore them. Okay, so what to do is to eliminate what you can based on the words you already recognize and then make your selection from the remainder. يعني مثلا انا عندي سؤال طبعا او في واحد من الاسئله دي عندي في 4 answer choices، لو انا عارف 2 منهم وعارف for sure ان الاثنين دول غلط بناء على يعني based on my understanding of the text and my knowledge of these two vocabulary words, I can just eliminate these words if I'm sure that they are not correct, and we can just after that choose from the remainder or the remaining 2 words. لكن الحالة الوحيدة اللي أنا ممكن أختار كلمة أنا ما أعرفهاش إني لو الفور أنسر تشويسز في 3 أنا أعرفهم، وبناء على معرفتي أو فهمي للتكست وفهمي أو معرفتي لل3 vocabulary words أنا عارف إن ال3 دول كلهم ما ينفعوش ما يناسبوش يكونوا completion للتكست ده. Only in this case I can just choose the unfamiliar word. Okay, so here if you can eliminate all the other choices, only then you can go with the unfamiliar word. Okay, now it's time to practice. Okay, it's time to practice. Question 1. This question, or we have 6 questions from the official digital SAT from the College Board. هنقرا، احنا هنعمل ايه بقى؟ هنقرا نحاول نعمل we're gonna try to simplify or to summarize the text, and we're gonna just try to think of we can make a prediction before going through the answer choices. Okay, let's get started, and we must consider that the main idea will be stated twice. One of the answer choices can just support this main idea. Okay, we're gonna read carefully and then we're gonna just make a summary, and then we can make prediction before looking at the answer choices, and after that we can just complete our mission inshallah successfully. Okay, former astronaut, okay, Ellen Ochoa says that although she doesn't have a definite idea of when it might happen, she spaces that humans will someday need to be able to live in other environments than those found on Earth. This conjecture informs her interest in future research missions to the moon. Here we have this period, which is a very important punctuation mark. Since we have 2 sentences, one with the blank and one without the blank, we can think that the restatement of the main idea will be within the second sentence. So she says that although she doesn't know when, or she doesn't have a definite idea when it will happen, okay, but she thinks that people one day will be in need to move to other places outside of Earth. Okay, this conjecture means تخمين. It means that she's not sure when, okay, she's not sure about when humans will be able to do that or will be in need to do that. Okay, so only she thinks that people will do something, will be in need to move outside of Earth, but she only has a conjecture or تخمين. She's not sure when this may happen. Okay, now we can say that she thinks, for example, تعتقد، بتفكر. Okay, we're gonna just move to the answer choices, and we must make sure that the word conjecture here is a very important clue for us to find something that matches and reinforces this word. Okay, demands بتطالب بحاجة زي كده. Okay, demands is not correct because she or requires or insists. It doesn't fit here because she only doesn't know when this might happen, so she cannot ask for something she doesn't know when to take place or when to happen. So demands is not correct here. Speculates means also بتخمن يعني she has an idea without having a strong evidence to support, which is a kind of connected to this word. So speculates and conjecture are related to each other, so we can say that this is statement and this is the restatement. Okay, so we can go with this question, but with this answer choice, but we're gonna complete reading, so we can just make sure that C and D are not correct. ده معناها بتشكك. No, how come? She thinks that people will be in need in the future to do so, or to travel, or to live outside of Earth. So we cannot say that she doubts that humans one day will be in need to live outside of Earth. Establishes means just to prove. So that she proves, no, she's not sure, and she has only a conjecture. تخمين. So we cannot say that she can prove that will happen definitely in a very specific time. So we cannot go with D. So we're gonna cross out D. So the answer choice here, the correct answer choice for or to question number 1 is B. Okay, so B is the correct answer choice. So she speculates that humans will someday need to move or to be able to live in other environments than those found on Earth. This conjecture has a تخمين, okay, blah blah, until the end of the question. Okay, we're gonna move to question number 2. We're gonna read, simplify. We're gonna just focus on the main idea. We must consider that this idea will be mentioned somewhere in the text once more. So, beginning in 1950s, Navajo Nation legislator Annie Dodge, okay, she continuously worked to promote public health. This space effort involved traveling throughout the vast Navajo homeland and writing a medical dictionary for speakers of Dani Bizad, the Navajo language. Okay, my friends, here we need a word to describe the noun effort. So the word that can modify a noun is an adjective. Okay, so if this legislator works continuously and she travels vast Navajo homeland, okay, or travels through the vast Navajo homeland, and she wrote a medical dictionary. So how can we describe this effort? We can describe this effort. We can just predict that this effort is, or we can modify this effort or describe this effort as serious, and she was very interested in her work. She was very interested in her work. So we're gonna go through the other the answer choices. Okay, so impractical or impartial. Impartial means she was biased. Okay, or unbiased. It means that impartial means unbiased. It means that she was interested in everything. No, according to this text, she was only interested in the public health. She was very interested only in promoting public health. So impartial doesn't fit here because she was interested only in one topic, not in all things. So we can cross this out. Offhand, my friends, here casual, or she is not, her work or her effort can be described as casual, or she was not very interested, she was not serious. And this is the opposite, because we cannot modify her effort as offhand or as casual or just something that she was not very interested in, because she traveled across the vast homeland of those people, and also she was very interested in promoting public health. Also, she worked continuously, okay, and also she wrote a medical dictionary. It means that her work was very serious and she was very interested in her work. Persistent, more than perfect. So persistent here, we can say that persistent effort just reinforces the word continuously work to promote public health of those people. And here also we have the semicolon that can just tell us that the clue can be found, okay, or this is one sentence and the other one is another sentence, so we can find that the clue is in the previous or the first sentence. So persistent can reinforce the meaning of the word continuously worked to promote. So her work was persistent. She worked continuously to improve and promote public health for those people. Also, we're going to go through D to make sure that C is the correct answer. So mandatory means required by law, or she was forced by law to do so. For sure, nothing in the text can suggest that she was forced to work to promote the public health of those people. So D is not correct, so C is the correct answer choice. Okay, now we're going to move to question number 3. So following the principle of community-based participatory research. Community-based participatory research. Tribal nations and research institutions are equally partners in health studies conducted on reservation. A collaboration between the Crow tribe and Montana State University space this model. Colin, to just give us an explanation here, tribal citizens worked alongside scientists to design the methodology and continue to assist in data collection. So, my friends, here we can summarize it, or we can just simplify the text, saying that there is something we call principles of community-based participatory research, in which people, tribal nations, and research institutions can just equally be partners or equally participate in any field. Here in this text, health studies conducted on a reservation. Okay, collaboration, تعاون between this tribe, قبيلة الغراب, okay, and Montana State University as a research institution. What this model? And in this specific model, after the column, they give us some explanation that tribal citizens from the Crow tribe worked alongside scientists from Montana University, designed the methodology to continue to assess in data collection. يبقى الناس دول اللي هم من قبيلة الترايب دي بتاعت قبيلة الكرو tribe and Montana State University عملوا ايه بقى للموديل ده؟ They followed it. Okay, they followed this model. So here we're gonna go through the answer choices. احنا عملنا simplification, we fully understood the passage, and the passage says that في حاجة اسمها community based participatory اللي فيها الناس المحليين العاديين بيشاركوا بنفس القدر مع الساينتستس عشان هدف معين. فمثلا في قبيلة or Crow tribe مع مونتانا ستيت يونيفرسيتي عملوا ايه للموديل ده؟ لانهم الناس بتوع القبيله دي اشتغلوا alongside يعني بنفس القدر مع الساينتست from Montana State University. يبقى عملوا ايه to this model? Did they support the model? Did they follow the model? So the clue word here is following. They followed it. Okay, so circumvent here, my friends, we're gonna go to the answer choices. Circumvent means avoid. Does the text here suggest that the Crow tribe and the Montana State University avoid this model of community-based participatory? For sure not. This is the opposite. Eclipses means overshadow. يعني هم غطوا على ده وتجاهلوه أو يعني they overpassed it or they were not interested in it. For sure this is opposite as well. Not correct. Fabricates, did they create that? No, they only followed it. Okay, so this is not correct, but exemplifies means that they followed it. They followed this example of how to follow the principles of community-based participatory research. So we can say that they followed it, and here is a clue by following, and exemplifies because they just, here is an example, they worked to follow this example of community-based participatory. So we can say that they the tribe and the state university they exemplifies the model of the community-based participatory. Okay. Question number 4. The parasitic dodder plant increases its reproductive success by flowering at the same time. Flowering at the same time as the host plant it has latched onto. Okay, here is another sentence. Okay, in 2020 مش عارف اسمه ايه وهودا okay and his colleagues determined that the tiny dodder achieves this what? With its host by absorbing and utilizing a protein the host produces when it is about to flower. So which choice completes the text with the most logical and precise word or phrase? So here we can say that this parasitic dodder plant increases its productivity or reproductive success by flowering at the same time. بيعمل flowering at the same time as its host plant. Okay, يعني ممكن نقول إن في plant parasitic plant والhost plant. فالparasitic plant ده اللي هو Dora plant it just increase its reproductive success by flowering at the same time. بيعمل flowering مع في نفس الوقت بالتزامن مع الhost plant. Okay. The scientists here okay determined that this parasitic plant achieves this what with the host by absorbing and utilizing protein the host produces when it is about to flower. فممكن نقول إن هو they achieved what synchronization for sure. It is definitely very suitable, and it logically can complete this text because here flowering at the same time. So this is statement and restatement also. So to flower at the same time means they achieve synchronization, and synchronization means to do something at the same time. تزامن. Okay. So synchronization is the correct answer here, but we're going to go through the other choices so we can just make sure that everything is correct. Hibernation, letter B, is not correct because hibernation is a state of inactivity. يعني خمول أو بيت شتو بتاع بعض animals when it is winter time. So hibernation is not correct here, but they flower at the same time, so they achieved or they can achieve synchronization. Prediction, to predict something that will happen in the future. For sure this cannot fit the context here, or it is not logically completes the sentence here because a prediction can be done by people, and also prediction means يعني يتنبأ بشيء بيحصل في المستقبل. for sure this is not the case here. Moderation means يعني يقنن شيء، يعني to reduce something. For sure doesn't work here, but so the dodder plant and the host plant they achieve this synchronization with its host or this plant. The parasitic plant can just achieve synchronization with its host by absorbing and utilizing protein that the host plant can produce before flowering time. For sure this is not correct, so the answer choice is synchronization, which is letter A. Okay, we're gonna move to question number 5. We're gonna read, understand, and we're gonna try to simplify it, and then we're gonna just try to make a prediction, for example, or to find something that reinforces the answer choices, reinforces the text from the answer choices also. And also we can just make sure that there is a statement in the text that needs to be reinforced, or the main idea is mentioned totally all the time. We can do this. Okay يا شباب، من أهم الحاجات اللي احنا ممكن نستخدمها في الأسئلة دي إن احنا نعرف إن في الفكرة مكررة مرتين. هنحتاج حاجة من الأنسر تشويس اللي ممكن تعمل support أو reinforcement للتكست. So given the condition or given the conditions in the binary star system اللي هو نظام النجوم الثنائي okay should make a planetary information nearly impossible. يعني احنا عارفين إن المكان ده مثلا النوع ده من النجوم من الستار systems making or forming planets in this place is nearly impossible. Okay, it is not surprising that the existence of planets in this system lacked space explanation. يعني okay في هنا period has a punctuation mark. Roman Rafikov and Kedrin shed light on the subject when they used modeling to determine a complex set of factors that could support plants development. يعني التكست ده بيقول لنا ايه؟ ان في الباينري ستار سيستم او نظام النجوم الثنائي ده يعني بناء على الكونديشنز اللي فيه من الصعب جدا او تقريبا مستحيل ان يكون في كواكب مكونه في المكان ده. تمام؟ فممكن نقول وجود نجوم في المكان ده اكيد ايه؟ lack what kind of explanation? We need to describe the word explanation. lack logical explanation، مثلا مفيش تفسير منطقي أو يعني تفسير واضح، مثلا clear explanation. So Roman Rafikov or those two scientists shed light on the subject when they used modeling to determine a complex set of factors that could support planets development. يعني الاثنين الساينتست دول عملوا موديلنج ان ممكن يكون في بعض الحاجات المعقده اللي ممكن تسمح بتكوين بعض الكواكب في النظام نظام النجوم الثنائي ده. فهنا ما قالكش impossible, nearly impossible. Okay, so we're gonna go through the answer choices to find a word that can describe the word explanation here. Discernible means not يعني شيء مش ممكن توضيحه، مش ممكن ان احنا نستقبله او نفهمه، لكن هما الاثنين ساينتست دول عملوا موديلنج ان ممكن يسمح بتكون بعض الكواكب، ولكن في بعض الكونديشنز اللي هي معقده جدا. فطبعا ده it doesn't work here because discernible means cannot be accepted or you cannot be proved, but they try to prove it using some modeling, so we cannot take this as the correct answer. Straightforward. Okay, straightforward means direct and easy to be understood. So here since in this place it is impossible or nearly impossible for plants to be or to exist in this place, but finding planets there is or lacks straightforward explanation. يفتقد لي تفسير واضح ومنطقي وصريح لوجود هذه الكواكب في المكان ده. ممكن نشوف inconclusive يعني شيء يعني ما بيديش حل جذري للموضوع او ما بيحلش الموضوع بشكل جذري. طبعا لا ما تنفعش هنا. and unbiased اللي هو حل محايد او تفسير محايد. طبعا محايد doesn't work here, but the correct answer is B, straightforward explanation. So since it is in this place it is nearly impossible to find or to for planets to be formed in this place, but finding some planets lacks straightforward explanation. مفيش تفسير منطقي أو مباشر لوجود هذه ال planets in this binary star system. Okay, so Seminole Muskogee director Sterling Harjo ماله blank television's tendency to situate native characters in distant past. Colin بتقول لنا بقى الكولن. After the colon we're gonna find an explanation to this. So إن المخرج ده الديركتور ده he يعني space to the tendency of television to depict those native characters in distant past. This rejection يعني الرفض بتاعه ده is evident in his series Reservation Dogs, which revolves around teenagers who dress in contemporary styles and whose dialogue is laced with current slang. يبقى في rejection، يبقى الراجل ده رفض الطريقة التقليدية اللي بتقدم بيها native characters, okay, because they were depicted as living in distant past. But this director rejects this depiction of those people, of the Native Americans or native characters. So here the word rejection can be a clue word for us, or we can just summarize the passage as إن الديركتور ستيرلين هارجو رفض الطريقة أو طريقة تصوير أو يعني طريقة تصوير الناس اللي هو Native Americans or native characters as living in the distant past by إن هو عمل ال reservation dogs ده with which revolves around لأن في teenagers هنا لابسين زي الناس العاديين جدا ال current people or contemporary people, and also whose language is laced with current slang. بيتكلموا عادي زي الناس المعاصرين ولابسين زي الناس المعاصرين. يبقى هو رفض، وفي كلمة rejection هنا، رفض الطريقة التقليدية إن هم بيصوروا ال native characters as living long ago or in distant past. خلاص. ف repudiates يرفض أكيد. This is the correct answer. Repudiates is the correct answer. But we're gonna go through the other answer choices, okay, to make sure that the other answer choices here are not correct. So proclaims means to affirm. proclaim إنه يعني بيؤكد. هل هو بيؤكد التلفزيون تندنسي؟ لا، ده هو كان ضدها وهو كان رافضها كان رافضها. For sure this is not correct. And foretells هل كان بيتنبأ بده ان هيكون في tendency في التي في ان هم او في التلفزيون to depict those people as living in distant past. For sure not correct because it already exists, so he cannot foretell something that already exists. And recants هل كان بيتراجع عنها؟ لا، هو ما تراجعش عنها اصلا. يعني بيتراجع عن recants ان هو بيقول شيء يعني وجهة نظره بعد كده يتراجع عنها. For sure this is not the case here, but he repudiates means he rejects. So there is a kind of connection between rejects and repudiates and rejection here, because he rejects the depicting those people as living in the distant past. Okay, so all the time, my friends, whenever you're about to tackle these questions, ان حضرتك هتقرا التكست كويس قوي، تمام، وهتحاول يعني تعمل له summary او تبسطه. وكمان لازم توضع في اعتبارك ان بيكون مثلا فيه جمله، تمام، وفي بعد كده مثلا period او في مثلا semicolon او في مثلا اي punctuation mark هتكون فيها الجمله دي يعني معمول لها مثلا restatement، تمام. فاحنا هنختار واحده من الانسر choices اللي هي ممكن يكون لها clue في التكست to be supported and ممكن تعمل prediction before going through the answer choices if it is possible. And inshallah it is very easy for you to tackle these questions. Thanks for your listening to me, and that's all, and thank you so much. So wish you all the best, and once more thank you, created and presented by me, Mr. Gamal Hassan Ibrahim, with the best of luck. Thank you, my friends.